There's a truth here, but few dare to say it out loud, I know. This isn't an easy topic to bring up. But if you're 60 or older and you've noticed your grandkids pulling away a little, or someone discreetly opening a window when you walk into the room, then you might be sensing something that many older adults quietly go through. You may have a scent that others notice, but you don't. Sounds sensitive, right? But I want us to talk like two old friends. No judgment, no embarrassment, just an honest conversation between people who've lived long enough to understand. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable, but it can also heal if we're brave enough to face it. Welcome to Talk with John, your trusted space for real stories and smart advice for life after 60. Let's find out now. 1. Let's be honest with ourselves. The fact is, more than 99% of older adults have no idea their body may give off a distinct scent that comes with age. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply a natural part of growing older. Our bodies change with time. Sweat glands behave differently. Our skin's oil composition shifts. Our mouths become drier. All these small changes come together and create a scent others can detect, even if we can't. The hard part is, loved ones often don't know how to bring it up. They don't want to hurt your feelings. So the distance begins to grow silently. No one means to pull away, but you might feel the hugs getting shorter, the closeness fading. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to remind you, you are not alone, and more importantly, you can do something about it, gently and on your own terms. And it all starts by being willing to look at it with kindness. No blame, no shame. Just the understanding that your body is changing and it deserves to be cared for in a new way. 2, it's not that you're unclean, it's that your body is changing in its own quiet way. I've heard many older folks say to me, but I shower every day, wear clean clothes, even put on cologne. How could I smell? And I absolutely believe them. In fact, many older adults I meet are even more meticulous about hygiene than younger folks. But here's the thing. After 60, our bodies don't work the same way they used to. We often assume that body odor comes from poor hygiene, but the truth is it stems from biological changes that no one really talks about. First, sweat glands slow down. That might sound like a good thing. Who wants to sweat more, right? But sweating is actually your body's way of detoxing. When you sweat less, those toxins stay on your skin, feeding bacteria, and that's where odor starts to form. Second, the composition of your skin oils, sebum, changes. After middle age, your body starts to produce something called 2-nonenal. It sounds like a science term, but it's the main reason for that old person smell. It's a bit sharp, a bit musty, and very different from the scent of younger bodies. Third, your mouth gets drier as saliva production drops. This doesn't just make eating harder, it also lets bacteria multiply in your mouth, leading to bad breath, even if you brush your teeth regularly. In short, this is all completely natural. It has nothing to do with how clean or careful you are. The real issue is this: we're still using old habits to care for a body that has changed. And once you understand that, the guilt disappears. You no longer feel confused or embarrassed. You just realize, maybe it's time to take care of myself a little differently, the way I deserve to be taken care of now. 3, that quiet distance. No one talks about it, but everyone feels it. Here's something I believe you've felt, even if no one said it out loud. Your loved ones aren't as close as they used to be. Not because they don't love you, but maybe they're sensing something they don't know how to explain. I remember a woman named Linda, a 67-year-old retired school teacher, warm and tidy in every way. One day she shared with me during a consultation, "I don't understand, John. My grandson used to be glued to me, but lately he pulls away when I try to hug him. He said, 'Grandma, you smell kind of weird.' Then he just ran off." I was hurt, of course, but honestly, I felt more sad than angry. Linda isn't the only one. I've heard this story in different shapes and forms from so many people. Grandmothers, grandfathers, elders who were once the center of the family, now quietly feeling avoided by the ones they love most. And what troubles me most? The silence. Silence from loved ones who don't know how to bring it up, and silence from you because you're not sure what's happening. So I'll say it for both sides. It might be the natural scent of aging, something nearly all of us have past 60, yet no one tells you about. But I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. I'm telling you because it's real, and it's something you can absolutely do something about. Many people, once they understand this, feel a huge weight lift. They realize, so it wasn't that my family was rejecting me. I just needed to adjust a few things, and they'd come back close again. 4. The problem isn't everywhere. It's in a few key spots. At this point, you might be wondering, so if my body really does have a smell, what can I do? Is there something simple that actually helps? I'm glad you asked, because yes, there absolutely is, and it's not complicated at all. After decades of working with older adults, I discovered something surprising. Even to me, most of the odor doesn't come from your whole body, it comes from just a few small areas. And they're often the areas we overlook when we bathe. Not because we're lazy, but because we're used to doing things a certain way, and our bodies aren't quite as flexible as they used to be. 1. Skin folds and creases, like your neck, behind your ears, underarms, under the breasts, groin, behind the knees. These areas trap sweat and bacteria, but most people just rinse them quickly or skip over them entirely. I often joke, the smell isn't hiding on your back or belly, it's curled up in those tiny skin folds. 2. Hairy areas, like your scalp, chest, underarms, and groin. These areas trap oil and odor, especially if the oil composition has changed with age. I remember Mr. Bill, 70 years old, who used a long-handled brush to finally scrub his scalp and back. A week later, he laughed and told me, I thought I was shampooing just fine. Turns out 2 proper scrubs and my grandson's hugging me again. Feet in between the toes, the most forgotten area during showers. Most folks stand under the water but don't bend down to scrub their feet. And when feet are stuck in shoes all day, they sweat a lot. If you don't clean and dry them properly, that smell sticks to your shoes and lingers around the house. The solution? Very simple. Use warm, not hot water to avoid drying out your skin. Use a soft cloth or loofah in gentle circular motions. After showering, dry each area thoroughly before getting dressed. If possible, take a warm bath once a week for 20 minutes. Not to soak in soap, just to let your pores breathe and cleanse deeply. I once had a 73-year-old woman who changed the way she showered for just 10 days. She told me, John, I never thought I was ignoring my neck or behind my ears. But now, my granddaughter sat on my lap again. She even kissed my cheek. I almost cried. I just smiled and said, it was a small change. But the closeness you got back, that's the big thing. 5. A few tiny changes and suddenly life feels a little lighter. I've always believed that big changes don't need to start with big actions. Sometimes all it takes is a few small shifts, and you start to feel the difference. Not just in your body, but in how others respond to you. Here are 3 simple habits I've recommended to older adults for years. And time after time, those who try them notice a real lasting change, without medicine or expensive products. 1. Drink warm water throughout the day. Older adults are prone to dehydration, and it's easy to overlook. But water helps your liver and kidneys flush out toxins, the very things that silently affect your scent. I often tell people, every cup of water is like giving your body a gentle rinse from the inside. 2. Take gentle walks in early morning or evening sunlight. You don't have to exercise hard, just 15 to 20 minutes of slow walking in the fresh air, letting your skin soak up mild sunlight, helps your body sweat lightly, a natural way to cleanse the skin. And the sunlight also lifts your mood. That's something science has confirmed again and again. 3. Change your clothes and linens more often. Many older adults have the habit of wearing clothes a few times before washing if they don't feel dirty. But even when you can't see or smell it, your sweat, oil, and dead skin are building up on fabric. I always suggest wash your underclothes and socks daily and change pillowcases at least once a week, especially your pillow. It collects oil from your scalp and skin every night. Change it, and it feels like you gave your whole body a fresh start. These aren't rules, they're gentle reminders. The kind an old friend would offer over tea. You don't have to change everything. Just start with one small thing. That's enough to shift how others feel around you and how you feel within yourself. 6. 3 overlooked areas, but they're the biggest cause of odor. A lot of people say to me, but I shower every day, John. I'm clean. How can I still smell? And I believe them. Truly, but here's the thing. Odor doesn't come from how often you shower. It comes from where you don't clean thoroughly enough. After years of experience, I've learned this truth. 90% of that old age smell comes from just 3 key zones. And most people unintentionally skip them. Not because they're lazy, but because we all tend to wash in a routine, familiar way, often missing the very spots that need extra care. One, skin folds, where moisture hides and bacteria thrive. Your neck, behind the ears, under the arms, under the breasts, groin, behind the knees. These areas trap sweat and oil. And because they're hidden or harder to reach, they often get a quick rinse, or none at all. I often say with a smile, the smell isn't on your back or legs, it's hiding in the curves we forget to scrub. 2. Hairy areas where oil and odor build up fast. Your scalp, underarms, chest, and groin all trap sebum, the natural oil your body produces. As we age, this oil changes in structure, making it more likely to carry odor. I once told a retired Dr. Helen to gently scrub behind her ears and back of her neck every morning. A week later, she laughed and said, "I didn't even realize I'd been ignoring those spots for years. Now my grandchild says I smell like a warm hug again." Feet, especially between the toes. Most people rinse their feet under the shower stream but forget to scrub, especially between the toes. But feet sweat a lot, especially inside closed shoes, making them the perfect environment for odor. Cleaning and drying thoroughly and rotating your shoes to let them air out makes a huge difference. How to clean these spots properly. Use warm, not hot water to avoid drying your skin. Use a soft cloth or loofah, scrubbing gently in small circles. After bathing, pat each area completely dry, especially the folds and in-between spaces. And once a week, soak in a warm bath for 20 minutes. No need for strong soaps, just warm water and quiet time for your skin to breathe and reset. One woman, 73 years old, changed her shower routine just slightly. 10 days later, she told me, "My granddaughter actually sat in my lap again. She leaned in and didn't wrinkle her nose." John, I nearly cried. And I told her gently, it's not about smelling perfect. It's about being present again and being close without hesitation. 7. If you want to smell fresh, start from within. I often tell people, your body is like a garden. To smell good, don't just water the leaves. Care for the roots too. Once you have addressed the outside, it's time to care for the inside. What you eat, drink, and how you maintain your inner health all play a huge role in how your body smells. 1. Drink more water, a simple habit with big results. When your body lacks water, toxins can't flush out properly. That waste builds up and eventually seeps out through the skin. I recommend at least 6 cups of warm water a day, spaced throughout the day. Start with 1 after waking up, then 1 before and after meals. Build the habit slowly. Margaret, 71, once told me, "I hated drinking water, but after 2 weeks I felt lighter, and my daughter-in-law told me, 'Mom, you smell fresher these days.' That meant the world to me." 2. Eat more colorful fruits and vegetables, especially reds, purples, and greens. Foods high in antioxidants like tomatoes, apples, berries, spinach help your body break down internal waste more efficiently. Even garlic and onions, though pungent at first, help long-term by supporting gut health and fighting bacteria. Paul, 74, shared with me his routine. "Every morning I eat a fresh tomato and apple. My daughter used to wash my clothes separately. Now she puts them right in with the kids." 3. Keep your mouth clean. Fresh breath is part of a fresh body. As saliva decreases with age, your mouth gets dry and odor creeps in. To fix that, brush 2-3 times a day. Use a tongue scraper each morning. Chew sugar-free gum with xylitol to boost saliva naturally. Linda, 70, once said she hated talking to her grandkids because of her breath. After adding tongue scraping and more water, she smiled and said, "Now I tell jokes again. They don't cover their noses anymore." It doesn't take a big overhaul, just daily acts of kindness to your body, like watering a plant. And you'll be amazed, your body thanks you back with freshness, comfort, and closeness. 8. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to care for yourself. A little more each day. If there's one thing I hope you take from everything I've shared, it's this. You still deserve to be held, hugged, and loved, no matter your age. Not because you changed yourself to please others, but because you began caring for yourself, your body, your words, your presence with the dignity you've always deserved. I've met many older adults who felt like they were slowly fading from the center of their family. They couldn't quite name it, but they felt distant, excluded, like they were gently being pushed aside. But I've also seen the magic of small things: washing behind the ears, changing pillowcases weekly, drinking that extra glass of water, walking under the morning sun, slicing up a tomato and enjoying it mindfully. These little actions bring big changes. They don't just freshen your body, they freshen the way others feel around you. The hugs come back, the smiles come back, the intimacy returns. Because closeness doesn't come from expensive perfume. It comes from a body that feels clean, fresh, and lovingly cared for by you. So if today you're feeling a little distant, a little unsure, a little invisible, I want you to hear this. You don't need to change the world. Just start tending to yourself, one small moment at a time, and love will find its way back to you, through laughter, through warmth, through gentle hands reaching for yours again. Thank you for being here and for reading to the very end. You are still deeply valued. And I believe this: start tonight and tomorrow the world will feel a little warmer. If you found it helpful, please like video and share it with someone you love. You might just help them enjoy a more fulfilling life too. Thank you for watching the Talk with John channel. I'm John. See you in the next episode.